Welcome, welcome, beautiful people. Welcome to the Sideline Speaks with myself, Britne Jones, alongside Jason Collins and Kevin Walker, right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Media Network. What's going on, K Walker and Jay?
All is well. All is well. Looking forward to another great one, guys.
Yeah, should be a fun show. I'll tell you what, Britt, every time I'm listening to that intro, I forget you put that beat together. That's a nice little beat, Britt. You might have a future. If this thing don't work out for us, you got a future somewhere else, Britt.
Thanks, Jay. Oh, you're just trying to make me blush. That's all. I feel some type of way now. I mean, Dr. Dre. I see he got this award on the Grammys, 50 years of hip hop. I'm available. Okay, I gotta do this show, but I'm available. No, by any chance, before we start the show, did you guys happen to catch the Super Bowl NFL opening night?
I did not.
Yeah, I did not.
No? Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna have to get y'all to watch the replay or something to tell me what y'all think about it, because it's just a lot of unnecessary. I don't know how to describe it. Y'all ready to talk some sports?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. All right, so first and foremost, we're gonna start off with the NBA. We're gonna get into the NFL because everybody watching, I know this is Super Bowl week. Everybody's excited, especially if you're an Eagles and Chiefs fan. But it was a lot going on in the NBA this week as well. NBA guard Kyrie Irving was recently traded to the Dallas Mavericks for two players, which were guard Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith, along with three draft picks, one first-round draft pick, unprotected 2029, and two second-round picks, one for 2027 and another one for 2029 as well. Do you think it was time for the Nets to finally move on from Kyrie, which they have, but do you think this is the right time? Jay, this is your team. I'm coming to you first.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, as a fan, I didn't love it at first because obviously I think Kyrie makes your team better. I mean, although he does come with some baggage at times, I do think he makes your team better when he's on the floor. I don't think there's any question about that. But you understand it from the Nets side. Maybe they're a little hesitant to go into a long-term deal with Kyrie just because some of the history that's there. So I really think the Nets had no choice. Kyrie wanted a long-term deal. They weren't comfortable with that at the moment. So Kyrie asked to be traded. So honestly, I can see it from both sides. If I'm Kyrie, I want that security. If I'm Brooklyn, I want to know that I'm making a good investment. So I understand it from both sides. So given everything that was involved, I feel like the Nets really had no choice but to kind of move on from Kyrie and get what you can get in a trade like that.
Yeah, for me, I think it was past time. I felt like they should have traded him in the offseason when he was causing all that issues last year. But I guess they wanted to hold on so tight. Primary, I do believe it was due to Kevin Durant. But I agree with you, Jay. They had no choice. It was definitely time to move on now. I think we have a guest, guys.
Yeah, we got our first guest.
We have a guest. We're going to bring him in and we'll revisit in a second.
What's up, guys?
Mr. Keith Sarizeri, how are you doing, brother?
What's up?
What's going on, Keith?
Well, hey, man, we appreciate you.
I'm at a basketball practice. My son's got AAU basketball, so it's over there. I just came into the hallway, so excuse the background.
We're good, man. We're good. We appreciate you stopping by, man, for sure, man. We just want to get your prediction. I know your Eagles are playing on Sunday, and against that magical man in Mahomes, man. But give us your thoughts and opinions and your prediction on Sunday's game.
I predict that the opening kick will not be a touchback. All right. So listen here.
I'm about to say, did you put a bet in on that?
Of course I did. Yes. From a gambling standpoint, 28 of the last 32 Super Bowls, the opening kickoff was not a touchback. The reason being, and Pat McAfee said this 2 years ago, one of the reasons why, and last year, by the way, McPherson did have a touchback, so a little bit of a wrinkle there, but you're not allowed to touch the opening kickoff ball before time. So, Kev, you played, when the ball is rock solid, try kicking a rock solid ball that's not rubbed up, not loosened up, nothing like that. So typically it's going to be able to be run out. So go with that one. I had it at like plus 135, which is good odds there. That's my favorite bet. It's like an off the beaten path one.
Hey, the better's eye, and that's why you're the guy with better's eye, right? MLB, man. That's what you got. You got to come to you if you guys need a bet. Reach out to Keith Irizarry, man.
I got
he knows.
You tell me what you want. I'll give you other bets. Yeah.
Yeah, Keith, I wasn't expecting that, man. But last time you were here, I remember you said the Eagles were the best team in football, and you were pretty definitive about that. Now here they are. So tell me about the game. How do you see this thing playing out?
So I think this is a really tough game because I do think the two best teams are left right now, and it's as chalky as chalk could be, right? The 2-1 seeds they are. Sorry, your San Francisco 49ers are not the best team. You can shake your head all you want. If a Niners fan is going to tell me that they lost because Brock Purdy was out, Mr. Irrelevant, he played very well, but if he's the reason your team lost, then it wasn't going to work anyway. With that,
wait, whoa, Keith, come on now, come on. I know you gotta get the practice. I know you gotta get the Austin's practice, but come on, Keith. He played what? 2 series? A series?
He never played against a defense like the Eagles have.
He played against the Cowboys the previous week.
Yeah, they're not the Eagles.
You know what? Anybody can look great against a quarterback, a team that doesn't have a quarterback who can literally not throw the ball. A team that can literally not throw the ball. Come on, Keith.
Who led the NFL in sacks this year?
Okay, that's well played. Yeah, I get that. I get that. But let it. If you know what the argument is for me is like if Purdy would have played the entire game and you guys would have won that, then I'll have no argument. But he played one series.
Sure,
one series.
Totally a bad situation for your 49ers.
Yeah,
but
all right. I'll leave it at that. Don't say that they're the best team. Don't know that they're the best team, though. That's my
They were 9-1 this year against teams with winning records.
It doesn't matter. They didn't play the 49ers offense. They didn't play a 49ers offense, though. They didn't play a team like the 49ers.
They played the NFC East, which is the best conference. It was the best division. 3 playoff teams. You just told me about the Cowboys, didn't you?
No, I said the defense. I ain't said the Cowboys as a whole. The defense. Yeah.
The 2 top seeds are still there, and I think that the NFL got what they wanted. You've got Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, it's rigged. It is rigged. You're right. It's rigged. The NFL is rigged.
Okay, Arian.
It's rigged.
I think the NFL got the best situation. You got Mahomes going for Super Bowl number 2. He hasn't really played that great in the Super Bowls. 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in the 2 times that he's been there. And then you got Jalen Hurts, who would have been the MVP probably had he not gotten hurt. So if Purdy didn't get hurt, he probably could have won the game. Probably could have won that game. Close game. I agree. I think that would have been a close game. Yes.
I don't want to hear that from the Eagles fans.
I'm an honest person. I think it would have been a good
honest though.
Britt, help me out here, Eagles fan.
Yeah, I also think it would have been a closer game, but the Eagles we were too strong in the trenches. To me, that's where we won the game. In the trenches, whether Brock Purdy was there or not.
When you know a team is just going to run the ball, it's easy to win in the trenches.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter.
Purdy, it did not matter. It didn't matter. If you don't have a quarterback that can't throw the ball and you're just sitting there running and holding and just knowing they're going to run the ball, then how hard is that? How hard is that?
It would have been a much closer game, but we were just still too strong in the trenches.
Don't say too strong. That's the problem I'm having right now. Too strong.
We beat you in the trenches. We beat you in the trenches.
You're strong, but not too strong, Britt.
Well,
too strong because go ahead.
We were stronger in the trenches.
Let me help on one part. Whether you want to say trenches or not, you look at your San Francisco 49ers. This was one of the first times this year they weren't able to get to the quarterback. So if you want to just talk about the offensive line, we can talk about that.
Because they were tired. Because they were on the field more than they
drink some Pedialyte.
What's that? Come on,
Drink
come
some
on, Keith. You know
Pedialyte.
what I mean. You know what I mean, Keith. You know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. Come on now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, man.
Kevin,
Don't do that, bro. You know what I mean, Keith. You know
Kev's
what I mean.
immediately regretting asking me to come on the show.
Right?
Oh no, not at all. Never, brother. Never, brother. I knew what I was getting into, and I knew what I was, and I have a game plan, and I'm trying to execute my game plan. Go ahead.
All right. Hey, Keith, look, I don't want to drag you too deep into our show drama. So who's going to win this game, man?
Yeah.
That's why we got you here. Tell me who's going to win.
So in all seriousness, I've gone back and forth. When we knew the matchup, I thought the Chiefs were going to win. I did. I was going to pick the Chiefs. The more and more I'm thinking about this, I'm leaning Eagles very slightly. If I got to give a score, I'm going to go 31-27. Eagles win. I think it's going to be an excellent game. 100% could see this going either way. Ultimately, I do think that the fact that the Eagles, they need to take a blueprint, to use your word, Kev, of what the Buccaneers did to the Chiefs. Now, I understand that the Chiefs had a beleaguered offensive line that year, but when you can get pressure on Mahomes, who now can't move as well as he was able to move, this defensive line should be able to cause some havoc, and I think that's going to be the difference.
All right, good stuff, brother. I don't want to keep you from Austin. I know it went a little differently than when we planned, but I got a little riled up there, man.
You're good, man.
But no, I'm just saying. I don't want to keep you. I don't want to keep you from Austin, man.
Britt and Jay, just so you know, there were times in flag football where Kev got stuck playing quarterback for us also, and then we lost.
All right,
man, I thought a compliment was coming. I mean, I don't know if you know, but Kay Walker and I played on the same high school team, so I'm very familiar with his skill level. Yeah, so I thought you were bringing it full circle with a compliment, but
man, he would do that. He wouldn't do that because he knows I don't like the Eagles. That's why.
Kevin, everybody that I used to play with, the guy that was the third leading catcher at his college. I still remember. What was your line? Remember? I can catch a BB in the dark.
Yeah, I can catch a BB in the dark, man. Love you, brother. That's why I love you, brother. Could never get mad at you.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one, brother.
Keith,
thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
You got it, brother. That was my line, man. I could catch a BB in the dark.
That was good.
All right, my bad, guys.
All right, guys. But no, so we got one for the Eagles. We'll see. Hopefully we have a couple more people that pop in and give us their predictions, and then of course we also want to give our predictions later in the show. But thank you so much, Keith, for popping in. And finally, somebody got my back on this 49ers Eagles game. No, I'm just kidding, Kate.
Yeah, I tried to shut that down before it got too hot.
It's okay. It's okay. We love that on this show. We bring that passion out, Kate. Well, we love it. You know, yours come out, mine will come right back at you. No. But going back to our conversation with the guard Kyrie Irving. No, like I was saying before, I think it was just past due time. I think it's something that's needed to happen. I know the Nets were only hesitant because of Kevin Durant. And I don't think they're really so sure about Ben Simmons. So I also think that's another reason why they were hesitant as well. But Kyrie asked out, he wanted out, and they said, you know what, let's do it. I think Kyrie also was getting ready to sit out as well. And it's just funny how Kyrie can say this, and I was thinking about having this as my rant later, but it is what it is, how he actually got on James Harden just a couple weeks ago, saying he didn't show up last year, and who's not showing up now? Now you got to show up for another team. But let's see if continue this drama through his fourth team into his fourth team, I believe.
Boston.
So Cleveland,
I think it's
Boston,
yeah.
Nets.
Yep.
And now the Mavs. But K-Rock, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think it was time for the Nets to finally move on?
Yeah, I was just counting the teams. I didn't know it was four. I realized it was four. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys. I mean, I think it was time for them to move on. Kyrie obviously wanted the extension. I think, like Jace mentioned, he wanted that security. And, I don't know what he was asking for. I wish we knew the numbers and how far apart they were. Was it years? Was it number? Was it money? Don't really know there. And how much of everything that he's done, off the court played a part into them not giving him what he's asking for, or what he asked for, I should say. It's very interesting to see where they sent him to. You mentioned the draft picks. I think that's null and void right now. That's way down the road. We'll see exactly how that plays out, maybe like 10, 15 years from now. But I think the Nets got the better of the deal here, man, because I think you got rid of a guy that's very I don't want to call him a headache. Maybe in some people's eyes he's a headache, but he's definitely a distraction for sure. But getting Dinwiddie in this deal actually is pretty solid. And especially when KD comes back, when he gets back, I think it's time for KD to be KD, to be that superstar, to lead this team, because he does have some pretty good some weapons around, not weapons around him, but solid pieces around him.
Yeah.
But going back to Kyrie, yeah, I just think that they were fed up with. I don't want to say fed up with him because I don't know the entire story, but I just think that they just didn't want to deal with that. And Kyrie, we all know Kyrie. Kyrie is going to be Kyrie. Kyrie is going to do Kyrie things, and it's going to be very interesting to see how him and Luka, connect or combine. I don't know. They're two both ball dominant players, and I just don't see how that's going to work. But we've seen stranger things happen and stranger things work. So very interesting to see how this is going to play out. A lot of people think that the Mavs can make the NBA Finals with this combination. I don't see it, but then again, I don't have a crystal ball either. So, but I think both sides got what they wanted. To be perfectly honest with you.
Okay, well, you kind of answered my next question, so I'm gonna just direct this to Jay and myself. No, you're fine. You're fine. You already answered it. It's going to be the very next question. So the question was this a better trade for the Nets or the Mavericks? Jay?
Yeah, it's tough. I think in the short term, I think K-Walk's probably right. I like Spencer Dinwiddie. I think he's a really good player. Finney-Smith was the other guy, right? I think he's a solid player, probably better than a lot of people give him credit for. But in the long, if it works out with Kyrie and Dallas ends up signing him to a 3 or 4 year deal, then I think that pendulum probably swings back in Dallas's favor, right? So I think now you can say, because of the unpredictability, the Nets are looking pretty good in this situation. But if Kyrie ends up working out and being the Kyrie that everybody thinks he can be on the floor, then I think it's a major win for Dallas.
Yeah, I think this is so hard. I think if we're talking right now, I will agree the Nets won this trade. I'm not going to say one because we don't know, but this was a better trade right now in this moment for the Nets. Like you guys said, you have two ball-dominant guards. I know Kyrie can play off the ball. I know when James Harden was there, he said, James Harden, you could be the point guard. I'll be the shooting guard. And they did it with Ben Simmons. So he has that ability. But this is a different team. Luka, to me, is somewhat kind of a James Harden-esque type of guy. He will hold on to that ball for a long period of time in that shot clock. But my concern mainly with the Mavericks is when you got rid of primarily Dorian Finney-Smith, you got rid of your defense. That's the biggest thing. Who on the Mavericks is playing defense? Luka doesn't play defense. Kyrie sure doesn't. He tries, but he does not play defense. Who else on that team plays defense? There's so much offense. It kind of reminds me of when the Nets first got KD and Kyrie. They were just offensive dominated, but you could score, but you can't stop anybody from scoring. So that's how you were losing all your games, right? Your defensive guy goes to the Nets now.
Nets. Yep. Exactly.
So it's just like, okay. Now the problem with the Nets is you have KD and you have shooting, but do you have enough shooting to replace the Kyries of the world? So that's going to be interesting. Their defense has gotten better, but Ben Simmons has not been playing to help with the defensive side of the side of the ball. So honestly, it's a give and take type of trade. We don't know if Spencer Dinwiddie is going to be there. He's been in trade rumors as is. Does he even want to go back to the Nets after what they did? KD, we don't know what's going to happen with KD. I know it came out that saying, he's going to stay. Who the heck knows? I don't think he'll get traded by Thursday, but we don't know. So this is definitely going to be interesting with these two teams. And like you guys said, I don't know if Kyrie's going to be with the Mavs long term. I don't know if he's going to like that situation. Jay, what were yours?
Yeah, I was just going to say, because you were talking about the Nets, that they're missing now. They're missing a bona fide number 2, right? Like they got KD, superstar. And you're right, Britt. They have great shooting, some great role players, but they don't have like a bona fide number 2. And I think that's going to end up being what that, inhibits them from advancing deep into the playoffs. They just don't have that second guy right now.
Exactly. So before we move from the Nets, I have one more question for you guys. I know I didn't ask you guys or tell you that guys prior to the show, but who is to blame for the big 3 not working out? And the big 3 is Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. Or if you want to talk about the big 2, that's fine because it started with those 2 first. But who is to blame for those 2 or big 2 or 3 not working out? K-Walk, I'm going to come to you first.
I think when you look at it, that what 2 are gone and who's left? Who's left? I think that guy might be the guy we blame. I mean, KD. I'm not putting the. I mean, yeah, I am going to put. I mean, answer the question. I mean, I just think the common denominator is KD. I don't know what goes on in the back end of it. None of us do really. But if you look at it, they all come together. They all wanted it. Harden is traded to the Nets, then he's traded away from the Nets. The same thing with Kyrie, and then KD is still there, and KD was one of the first guys to request a trade. So I just think that, or maybe you could put the Nets in there as well, and maybe KD's on his way out as well. But right now, the way it looks like KD. But I'm gonna change my pick. I'm gonna say the Nets are the reason why. The Nets are the reason why. I just don't think that organization is looking at. I just think they just have a bunch of money and they're just throwing at these guys. Look what they did with Steve Nash. They brought in. They figured they just bring in 3 big time guys and it would work. We just throw a no name coach in there. And it'll work out. So I'll say the Nets right now. I'll say the Nets. Nets with a KD close second.
Yeah, in my mind, I think the front office, the Nets front office. I think coming in, I just think they were too desperate. When KD and Kyrie first came in, they basically got those guys and said, "This is your franchise." KD and Kyrie said, "We don't need a coach." Actually, Kyrie said, "We don't need a coach," and KD didn't really say much. It was like, okay. Well, that's your first mistake right there. You were listening too much, mainly to Kyrie, without really making sure his I shouldn't say that. That's not nice. Making sure all his
Oh, now you want to be nice?
I'm really I'm trying to be nice.
Now you want to be nice?
Without making sure he's all together. Put it that way. Without making sure he's all together. I just think they handed the franchise over to these 2 guys, gave them way too much control, and it backfired. To be honest, it completely backfired. Do I blame KD? He gets part of the blame. Kyrie gets a lot of the blame. Harden, he gets some of the blame also, but primarily I blame that the Nets front office.
I think you have.
Jay?
Yeah, Britt, I like what you said about how they were desperate. They were really desperate to win. They wanted to make a big splash. And I just don't think they had the organizational structure to be able to manage those 3 guys. I mean, when you think about it, that's why Harden wanted out. He got there. He was in it for a little while. He was like, this is crazy. Like, I want to go somewhere where there's some structure. So I think you guys are right. I think the Nets deserve the lion's share of the blame. Obviously, there's some blame to go in Kyrie's direction as well. KD, I mean, maybe from a leadership standpoint, but the one thing I'll say about KD, I mean, he's the only guy. I mean, obviously he's been hurt some, but he was the guy that was always out there playing when he was healthy. So it's hard for me to put too much blame on KD, but I do agree. I think the organization just wasn't structured to handle it. If those guys were in Miami or in San Antonio or someplace like that, it probably would have ended a lot different. But the Nets were just too weak in the front office to really manage the talent.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting with how Kyrie can act going to the Mavs because Mark Cuban, he ain't going to have that. You're not getting away with all that nonsense that you got away with in the Nets organization. Granted, they still got some things to work on in that organization, but Mark Cuban's not going to allow it to go but so far. He'll trade you before that gets out of hand. All right, guys, we're going to now move on to the NFL because it's NFL time now.
Super Bowl week.
Super Bowl week. Yes, my Eagles are in it along with the Kansas City Chiefs. Smile, K-Walk. It's okay. Smile. What I tell you? Y'all got 5 already. All right, y'all already
I
got
love
5.
it, K-Walk.
Okay, just it's all right. It's okay. It's one game,
better.
1 year.
I'm
It's
better.
fine. Which do you think is stronger? The first one is the Chiefs' pass game or the Eagles' pass defense.
Ooh.
Jay, coming to you first.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to go to K-Walk first so I could think about that one. Look, I think the Chiefs passing game is really dynamic. Now, if we're talking Eagles secondary, I probably would just say, give me the Chiefs. But if you're talking just the pass defense and we're going to put the pass rush in that, then I feel like maybe advantage goes to the Eagles. I mean, kind of like Keith was saying earlier, they can get after the quarterback. And Mahomes, even though he's healthier than he was the last couple of weeks, I still don't think he's going to be at 100%. So I think the combination of the pass rush and the Eagles secondary, I'm going to take the Eagles in this one.
Okay, well,
Yeah, as much as it hurts my heart to say this, I have to agree with that, Jay. On this one because that defensive line is something, and when you have a defensive line who can get after the quarterback, your back end can pretty much take some chances and jump some quick routes, things of that nature. With it's going to be interesting to see how Andy Reid dials up this offense for sure, but I think we're going to see a lot of the Chiefs going deep on this particular defense. I think you can beat the Eagles deep for sure. You have to do that, and because they're going to jump everything short because that pass rush is coming. So I'm going to say the Eagles pass defense is stronger than the Chiefs pass offense.
I don't know if the best option is to beat them deep, but the screen pass might be. That tight end screen pass, those wide receiver screen pass.
It's going to be interesting to see what Andy Reid dials up.
We struggle a little bit in that middle screen pass type of. So it's definitely going to be interesting. This was hard for me, guys. Because Patrick Mahomes, hurt or not, Patrick Mahomes is a magician.
But the Eagles are the best team, though. The Eagles are the best team, though.
Sarcastic.
Mike, I am sorry.
You about to get me say a bad word on YouTube. My parents is watching. My church people may be watching. Don't do that. Don't do that. Get over it, all right? You and Brandy, y'all could both get over it. It's time to move on. But no. But
you heard
Chiefs,
that, right?
but the Chiefs, they have one of the best. I can't even think right now. I think it's K-Walk, but they have one of the best pass protection in the game. Their rush protection may not be that great. I'm sorry, pass blocking versus rush blocking. Their pass blocking is great when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. That is like their end all be all. Whatever, no matter what, I don't care what you got to do. Protect this quarterback. Let him do what he needs to do because he's going to make a play, and that's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about the original play. Yeah, we may stop what the planned play was, their first read, their second read. But Patrick Mahomes, he's dangerous when he starts moving around in that pocket a little bit. And all of a sudden, the receivers completely go off route. And next thing you know, one's going deep, the other's going outside. It's all over the place. And then, our defense lose it. But, I'm going to give it to the Chiefs pass game.
Okay.
I'm going to give it to the Chiefs because of Patrick Mahomes and what he can do. That's probably dumb for me to say, but I'm gonna give it to Chiefs on this one. All right, the next one. We have the Eagles offense or the Chiefs defense. K-Walk, I'm gonna come back to you first.
Now, yeah, this is very interesting because I want to see if the Chiefs play the way the defense, because the Chiefs generally don't play defense very well. I mean, they did in that game against in the AFC Championship against the Bengals, surprisingly. So with that being said, I'm going to take the Eagles offense. I am going to take the Eagles offense because I haven't seen the Chiefs defense the way that they played all year long, the way that they played 2 Sundays ago. all year long. So with that being, I'm going to go with the consistency factor here, and the consistency factor is that the Eagles offense with Jalen Hurts under the helm is a really good, well-oiled machine, and I just don't know what you're going to get with that Chiefs defense. You got Chris Jones. Outside of him, you really don't know what more you're going to get out of that defense. So I'll take the Eagles Eagles offense over the Chiefs defense.
I'm gonna agree with you on this one, K-Walk. I'm gonna take the Eagles offense. I'm telling you, that offensive line is ridiculous. They will push that line start that line of scrimmage about 4 yards down the field. And then your running back has an easy 4 or 5 yards. Keep doing that. 3 downs, you get first down, right? I won't mention where they did it at. I'm not going to bring that up. But 2 games ago against the Giants,
always bringing up old stuff.
I'm
just kidding.
Okay, well, we're going to have a talk after this show. Big brother, little sis. We're going to have a talk after this show. But no, I don't know how Jalen Hurts. My concern is Jalen Hurts' shoulder. We could see it was not right in that 49ers game. We could see it was. You could tell he played a little bit better in that Giants game, but he still wasn't the same passer. So it's clearly telling me that his shoulder is impacting him. So I think the biggest part of the Eagles' offense is that offensive line. They're going to block, rush for the running game and for the pass game. So I'm gonna go with the Eagles' offense. Jay.
So let me ask you this before you start, Jay. Let me ask you this. So if Jalen Hurts' shoulder is hurt and they don't win, and that's the reason, would that be the reason they don't?
Are we bringing up old stuff?
I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for a friend.
Well, I'm not that type of person. When the Saints played, when the Saints beat us, what did I say? We turned the ball over 4 times. I didn't say. I mean, that was part of the reason, but that's not the main reason.
All right, I'm just asking for
because we turned that ball.
I'm sorry, my bad, bro. My bad. I just had to ask that.
No, it's all good.
I need you to get past this. You need any more time to get over it? Come on,
I will.
Get it out. Get it out.
I'm liking this. I'm liking this feisty, salty K-Walk this week. This is the K-Walk I thought I was going to see last week, but I think he was the wound was too fresh. Now K-Walk is ready to go. But
it's healing.
Look, I usually like to side with the defense. I love.
Wait,
defense.
Jay, hold on. I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry. If I have a question now, I'm sorry. So if somebody's defensive line knocks the quarterback out, does that count too? Okay, I'm sorry, Jay. Go ahead. I was being smart. Smart.
He didn't even hit the ground. That's the part that I hate. He didn't even hit the ground when you hit him. Yeah. Okay, Jay, I'm sorry, bro.
Look, man, I usually like defensive football. Like, I love defense. I love good defense, but I like defenses that can when they have to, they can just line up and play. They don't have to get cute. They don't have to get fancy. And I feel like the Chiefs, when they're playing their best defense, it's because they're blitzing, they're disguising, they're bringing all types of packages. They don't strike me as a defense that can just line up and play when they have to. So for that reason, I think the Eagles have the advantage because that offense can just line up and play. They can run it at you. Obviously, they got 2 great receivers on the outside. And then, of course, Jalen Hurts is the X factor. So I think the clear advantage here is to that Eagles offense.
I hope you guys are right. Well wishes to me. No. All right, guys. We're going to move on. We're going to keep this thing going. And now we have what I like to call situational football, Super Bowl edition. So as you know, we came up with this a while ago. Basically, I'll give you a play or a situation that actually occurs in a football game, and you tell me which player you will want in that particular position. So I have a few here. I have quite a few, actually. I'm just going to skip around. Let's see which one I want to do. Let's do this one. Okay. So your head coach. It could be Andy Reid, Nick Sirianni, whoever. Doesn't matter. Whoever you want your head coach to be. Your head coach calls a quarterback sneak to pick up 2 yards to score a touchdown. Who are you playing? We're going to pause that right there because we got another guest.
All right. We got my brother, my former teammate in high school, college, Mr. Philip Collins. I see he's got his daughter, Charlie, with him. PC, thanks for joining us, man.
What's up, guys?
Brother? What's
going
up, brother?
on?
Not a whole lot. Tell him, Charlie. Tell him,
Charlie. Hey, Charlie.
Hi,
How you doing, Charlie?
Yeah, you say hi, Charlie. Tell him what's going on with that game, though. Who's going to win this game this weekend, Charlie?
The Chiefs.
Angle's not my favorite.
You heard it. She said the Chiefs.
Ooh,
Chiefs.
okay.
She
All
said
right.
the Chiefs are going to
All
win the
right,
game, right, Charlie? Why? Because nobody the Eagles.
The turkey poopy.
That's right. Turkey poopies. Nobody likes the Eagles.
My heart hurts.
But,
I'm trying to my best friends.
no, listen, guys, seriously. So, like, listen.
The poop.
Okay, hold on, honey. So listen, I think that it's gonna be a good game, and like on paper, it's easy to say, hey, I think the Eagles are gonna win this game, but I think they've had the benefit of a lot of good things happen to them all year long, and in this game, their luck is gonna run out. They were fortunate to get the 49ers in the championship game and not the Cowboys. And I honestly think, it's just too hard to go against Mahomes. The stuff that he's able to do, his ankle's going to be feeling a little bit better.
It's not that.
And I think the Eagles' luck is going to run out this week. It's going to be close, though. Going to be close. But I'm going to say Chiefs by 4.
Poor little
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. Good stuff,
Chiefs
Phil.
by 4. So PC, you're the second guest pop-up picker, man. We got one for the Eagles, one for the Chiefs so far. So we're keeping a tally to see how this thing
Wait.
turns out by the
You
end
a
of the night.
you a Cowgirls fan?
Yeah.
Here
No.
we go.
I'm
Here
a
we go.
Cowboys fan.
See,
But listen, this pick is not
biased.
biased, though. Like, all week I've been thinking, those lucky birds, they're going to find a way to win. But the more I think about it, I just can't go against Mahomes. I hope that receiver can somehow play. But where the Eagles struggle on defense, that's where the Chiefs excel on offense. And that's down the middle of the field. And I think that they're going to take advantage of that weakness in the secondary. And if they can do that, and then let's also remember, the Chiefs can run the ball a little bit. And if they can get some yards on the ground, and then Kelsey is hitting them down the middle, I just don't know how the Eagles stop it. Now, then the flip side of that is they have to find a way to contain the Eagles quarterback. If he stays in the pocket, we all know that's not his specialty, standing back there and making throws with some pressure. I mean, he can do it when nobody's coming. But I just think that it's going to be an interesting game. But if they can keep him in the pocket, their defense is improved. I just don't see how the Eagles are going to be able to beat them. Hey, cut that out.
All right, PC. Good stuff, man.
Good stuff, brother.
Thanks for jumping on.
Good
for
to
a
see you,
minute.
brother. Good to see you.
All right, guys.
All right, see you
All right.
guys.
Bye, Charlie.
Bye, Charlie.
All right.
I don't appreciate that at all.
That's my guy, man. Hey, he taught me a lot about being a receiver.
Okay.
I tell you that.
Yeah,
right
clearly.
now.
He also taught you a lot about the hate for the Eagles.
Well, that's
No, I'm
that's
just
another
kidding.
thing. We never
I'm
talked
just
about that. We never
PC
talked
has been a
about that.
Cowboys fan his entire life.
Yeah, indeed,
his entire
indeed.
life, he's been a
Yes.
Cowboys fan.
That's crazy. How's that possible? Because you guys were what, Eagles and it was Redskins back in the day, Commanders, right?
Yeah,
Primarily.
yeah.
And he just came out and said, "I'm a Cowboys."
Well, I got a couple brothers that live and die with the Cowboys because the Cowboys were so big back then.
Back
then,
If you weren't rooting for the home team, you were probably going to root for the Cowboys. So, yep.
Okay. Key word in that, everybody. Work. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, guys, let's get back to our situational football. So like I was saying, your head coach calls a quarterback sneak to pick up 2 yards to score a touchdown. Who are you putting in that quarterback? Super Bowl edition, so it's only Super Bowl players. We only got 2 quarterbacks. You got Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes. Jay, I'm coming to you first.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer. I'm going with the guy that can squat 600 pounds and doesn't have a bad ankle. So give me Jalen Hurts on this one.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to make this quick, easy, and simple. I'm with you on this, Jay. He got a hurt shoulder, but like you said, no hurt ankle, and he's strong below. So strong legs. Okay, walk. Strong legs. Okay, walk.
Strong below.
Because people will take that out of, you know how people are. So let me correct that.
I wasn't even thinking about that, Britt. But anyway, you took me to the other place. All right, with that offensive line and Jalen Hurts' strength and his legs, I'm going to go with the Eagles here.
Sorry, Mom and Dad, but I had to correct myself because people will take that the wrong way.
I didn't even go there until you took me there, Britt.
All right, guys, we're gonna move on from that one.
Man.
I lost my train of thought. All right, so we have you need your defense. You need your defense to get a. I'm sorry. You need your defense to make a big play by getting a sack. Which pass rusher are you calling on? The Chiefs defensive tackle and Chris Jones, or the Eagles pass rusher and Hassan Reddick. So it's like number 2 and 3 on the sacks list, or 3 and 4, or 2 and 4, something like that. K-Walk, who you got?
Well, is Reddick going against a tight end?
That's your coach fault.
No, I know. No, I'll get into that a little bit later. But no, I'm going to go with. Oh wow. I think I'm gonna go with Reddick because Reddick comes off the edge. Chris Jones generally plays in the middle, so he has to fight off sometimes 1 or 2 guys. So I'll take Reddick here because I think it's an easier path to the quarterback. So I'll take Reddick based off of his line, where he lines up at.
Jay?
Yeah, I'm with K-Walk. I'm going Reddick as well. I just think he can get there faster. Whereas Jones, I feel like sometimes he needs the coverage behind him just to give him a little bit more time to get there. But Reddick's a disruptor, so I'm taking him easy here. Give me Reddick.
Man, I was thinking about taking Chris Jones, but y'all changed my mind. I'm gonna go with Hassan Reddick just because of what y'all said. I'm just kidding. I was always gonna go with Hassan Reddick. All right. All right. So
this was an entire Eagles segment for you.
No, it's not. You need a big play from your tight end. You call a tight end screen. Which tight end are you going with? Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert, or Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce? Jay?
Look, Goddard's good, but Kelsey's one of the best to ever do it. So this is an easy one again. Give me Kelce all day long on this one.
Yeah, I gotta go with Travis Kelce. I love Travis Kelce. He's the best tight end, in my opinion, in the league since Gronk, and maybe even better than Gronk when Gronk was playing. K-Walk, who you got?
No, I'm going to disagree with the best tight end. He doesn't block like George Kittle does, and George Kittle can just run as well and catch just as well as he is. But anyway, I'm going to take Kelce. I'm going to take Kelce on this. I think it's a no-brainer. Goddard is good, but I just think Kelce is just a little bit more mobile than Goddard is. So I'll take Kelce on this one.
I don't know how K-Walk seemed to be turning this into a 49ers day. What the hell?
Always. I don't run and hide. I don't duck and hide from no one. I'm a 49ers fan.
Yeah, I can tell. 2 seconds left on the game clock at the 45-yard line. You need a Hail Mary to win the game, to win the Super Bowl. Who are you putting in that quarterback? Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts? Jay, coming to you first.
Oh, I'm going Mahomes here. He's just dynamic in every way, I'm sure Hurts would do well with it as well, but if I gotta choose, I'm not picking against Patrick Mahomes.
K-Walk?
Yeah, even if Hurts had a healthy shoulder 100%, which I don't believe he has, I'm still going to take Mahomes in this one. I just think you just have to go with Mahomes. I mean, he can buy more. He can buy time, get out of the pocket. I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts can't, but I think he has a stronger arm at this point. So I'm going to take Mahomes.
It's interesting because Jalen Hurts is more accurate passer on the deep balls. He's one of the best accurate passers in the league this past season. But it's something about Patrick Mahomes. He's just a magician, like I said earlier. It seems like he can make anything happen on the field. I'm just hoping not against this Eagles defense on Sunday. So in this situation, I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes. All right, next one, guys. You're on the 10-yard line. The coach has called a running play to the outside to score the touchdown. Who are you putting in that running back to get the touchdown? We have Chiefs running back Isaiah Pacheco and Eagles running back Miles Sanders. K-Walk, who you got?
I'm going to go Pacheco here, man. I think Pacheco's faster. He's definitely faster than Miles Sanders. Nothing to take away from Miles Sanders by any stretch, but I think If you got to get to the outside, I think he can get to the outside a lot quicker, a lot faster, both quicker and faster than Miles Sanders. So I'm gonna take Pacheco here.
Jay?
Yeah, I hate to pick against my Penn State brother, but I agree with K Walk. Pacheco, man, he is explosive and he
very.
does get on the edge really quick. So I got to go Pacheco here.
Believe it or not, I don't think I'm gonna disagree with you guys. If I would have said Kenneth Gainwell, I think I would have went with Kenneth Gainwell. But Isaiah Pacheco, man, strong, explosive. And as we've seen in the 49ers game, Miles Sanders couldn't get to that edge. So that's why they had to pick Kenneth Gainwell, because Miles Sanders wasn't getting to that edge quick enough. Kenneth Gainwell was able to get to that edge a lot faster. So that's one of the adjustments they had to make. So in this situation, I got to go with Pacheco on this one as well. All right, a couple more, then we're going to move on. You need to get 20 yards to pick up a first down on an obvious passing play. Which receiver are you putting into which receiver are you depending on? I'm going to give you 4. We have Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown, Chiefs wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, Eagles wide receiver Devontae Smith, or Chiefs wide receiver Marquez Valdes-Scantling, if I said that right. Jay, I'm going to come to you first.
It's a good one. I think I'm going to go Eagles, and I'm going to go Smith. I look, Brown is great, but there's something about Smith, especially if I need a play, that I just feel like he's going to make a play for me. So I'm going to go Smith here.
Yeah, Jay, you took my guy. I think Devontae Smith is one of the best young route runners in the game. He can also go up and get that ball if you need him to as well. I know A.J. Brown is the wide receiver 1 technically, but Devontae Smith could also be a wide receiver 1 on a lot of teams out here. So in this situation, I'm going with Devontae Smith. K-Walk, who you got?
Yeah, if you go Devontae Smith and he catches it and you don't challenge the catch, I'll go with Devontae Smith. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back.
Yes, that wasn't a catch.
No, but no, all seriousness.
Wait,
I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
Before you answer that, what do you always say? If they don't call it or if they don't see it,
yeah, no, I know it's a catch. It's a catch. I'm not.
That was a smart play by Devontae. We gotta give him credit. That was smart.
And that's why I got mad, because when he does that means everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. That's not a catch. It means it's not a catch. But anyway, or get up and get on the ball, because I didn't catch that ball. But anyway, I'm going to go with the Eagles. However, I'm going to go with A.J. Brown. I just think A.J. Brown can box out guys. He can use his stature, his physicalness, whether it be a back shoulder throw, whether it be in route or a deep slant or deep post there. So I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm just going to go with A.J. Brown though.
Okay, well, you do make a valid point, because that those quick slants that the Eagles like to do, A.J. Brown does usually pick up about 15, 20. A couple times he picked up 30 yards just on that one call. Yeah. So that was a good pick. All right, couple more, then we are going to move on, because Jay has to take his, start his segment, and then we got our predictions in. All right, you need a great coach. You need a great head coach to create a great game plan prior to playing in the Super Bowl. Which head coach are you depending on? Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni or Chiefs head coach Andy Reid? I see you, Kate. Well, go first. Go ahead.
I don't think Sirianni is a great coach at all. I think he's a good coach. Okay, coach. I think. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's bad. But Andy Reid is Andy Reid. I mean, 3 out of the last 4 years he's in the Super Bowl. So I mean, it's a reason out there. So I'm going to take Andy Reid, and then I'm not trying to shade Sirianni in any way, but I just don't think he's on Andy Reid's level. So I think it's a no-brainer for me, Andy Reid.
For me, I'm gonna go with Andy Reid. The key word was a great game plan prior to the Super Bowl. One of the best head coaches we've ever seen. But Jay, who you got?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, Andy Reid's been one of the best coaches in the NFL for as long as I can remember. So, and again, it's nothing against Sirianni. He's young and doesn't have the experience, but and I mean, I guarantee you the Chiefs are going to doll up something on Sunday that no
Oh,
one has ever
for
seen
sure.
before. So, got to go with Andy Reid for sure.
Gutsy if they
Not
do.
that ring around the whatever they was
Yeah,
trying to
as
do.
long as they don't do anything like
Don't
that.
make a mockery of the game now. Like, come on, let's keep it football. All right, next one, guys. You need to make a big. You need to make a big time in-game adjustments in the Super Bowl. Which head coach are you depending on? Andy Reid or Nick Sirianni? Jay, I'm coming to you first.
I think I'm going to stick with Andy Reid on every coaching question just because, I mean, he's Andy Reid. And again, I think Sirianni deserves credit. I mean, look, he's done a heck of a job with the team that he has. So I don't want to act like I'm slighting him.
No,
But
you're not slighting nobody.
look, I just think if you're asking me who I trust more to come up with something, I got to go Andy Reid.
In this situation, I'm going with Nick Sirianni. As much as I love Andy Reid and as much as I respect Andy Reid is not good whatsoever at in-game adjustments. He's never was. He's not with the Chiefs, and nor has he ever been with the Philadelphia Eagles when he coaches as well. Eric Bieniemy makes a lot of those offensive adjustments, and they came out and said it a bunch of times. But Andy Reid is well known to not be good at in-game adjustments. But we've seen with Nick Sirianni in the Giants game, the 49ers games, and throughout the entire season, he could come back in the 49ers game. Kenneth gave Miles Sanders to Kenneth Gainwell. That's an in-game adjustment. It's a big adjustment. You have to identify that. Andy Reid would have never identified something like that. But I lost my daggone point. Thanks a lot, K-Walk. But Nick Sirianni has shown that throughout the entire season that he can make in-game adjustments. Andy Reid has yet to show it, although he has a Hall of Fame career. But K-Walk, go ahead and do whatever you want to do. With your slide remarks.
You see what I'm talking about?
Go ahead.
I can't even blink, smile, sneeze, anything without she's talking about the Eagles and I think I'm slighting them. But let's
sound like Whoopi Goldberg and the Cinderella. Go ahead. I love you though. Go ahead.
All right, you tight though, because you know I don't like your Eagles, and I'm gonna keep saying that.
But I had nothing bad to say about your team. You came.
I didn't say anything, Britt. I didn't say anything about your raggedy Eagles. But anyway,
there you go. Oh my god!
But I'm gonna go. You know what you said? You said something about Andy Reid. They said that it's not Andy Reid, it's Eric Bieniemy. What do great leaders do? What do great coaches do? They delegate. So that means that he's going to delegate to Eric Bieniemy and allow Eric Bieniemy to make that adjustment. So with that being said,
out of these two head coaches, who's make the better in-game adjustment? Eric Bieniemy is not in this.
But he has to delegate to Eric Bieniemy. Though.
It's just Nick Sirianni.
All right, so then I'm going to go Andy Reid because he's going to delegate to Eric Bieniemy. So Andy Reid.
All right, whatever. But I was trying to say which head coach, not coordinator or anything, just the head coach. But Andy Reid is your answer. Next. All right. You need one more. Got sour 49ers fans out in this. What's going on here? It's last week. It's over 2 weeks ago.
Next.
All right. You need your 12th man to be a factor in this game. You need this 12th man to be loud, crazy, and distracting where the opposing offense can hear themselves think. Or can't hear themselves think. Which fan base are you depending on? The Kansas City fan base or the Philadelphia fan base? We're going to go with the K-Walk first. Let's get this over with. Who you got, K-Walk?
Enough said. I'm done.
Okay. Jay, who you got?
Look, I think in the Super Bowl where there's going to be a lot of corporate seats, it's going to be hard for either fan base to really have an impact. But look, we Philly fans, we know all about them. But I think I agree with K-Walk, man. Those Chiefs fans, that's one of the hardest places to play in football. So I'm going to go Chiefs.
I'm going to go with the Philadelphia fan base. They're crazy. They're rowdy. They will give you the fingers left and right. They're nuts. K-Walk, I ain't got time for your nonsense today. They're nuts. Kansas City, they're loud. I just don't know if they're as crazy and distracting as that Philadelphia fan base. Philadelphia fan base will pull off some some craziness, and we all know this. All right, guys, we're gonna move on.
The heartbeat. They'll spit on the kid in the heartbeat. They will spit on the kid. They've done that. Phillies.
I have never
Phillies
seen
so
much hate. He is just being petty as heck. He couldn't get it out last week.
He held his tongue last week, but the K-Walk is getting it all out.
I'm gonna call Dr. Phil for you. How about that? I'm gonna call Dr. Phil. I don't know if he's a real doctor, but I'm definitely calling for you because you got to get some help with this situation. All right. Last thing before we move on, Super Bowl predictions. We got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and I need y'all to be analysts and not fans right now. Not spiteful fans, not whatever fans. I don't be an analyst right now, including myself. We got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. These are our predictions. This game comes on this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. on Fox. Let's just get over it. K-Walk, go ahead.
All right, since I'm a fan of black quarterbacks, I'm gonna go with the team that has the black quarterback.
Okay.
No, okay, my bad. Oh, they both have back. My bad. All right, you know what? I love the guy Kelsey, man, and he's great at his position. I love what he does at his position. I think he's one of the best, if not the best, at his position. So I'm going to go with the team that has Kelsey on it.
That ain't gonna work either, K-Walk.
That ain't gonna work. Oh,
okay. K-Walk, you ain't gonna hurt nobody's feelings about it.
No, man, I'm just playing with
Come
you.
on now.
I had that down, though, man. I had that plan, man. I had that plan. But no, all seriousness, I'm gonna go with the team that beat the 49ers this year.
The Chiefs? Wait, what the heck, bro?
Oh, my bad. They both beat them. My bad. All right. No, I'm kidding, ladies. I'm just trying to get you guys. But yeah, you know what? All seriousness aside, yeah. I mean, all jokes aside, seriousness. I am going to take the Chiefs, man. There's no fandom in it whatsoever. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I just think that Mahomes is that guy. I think he's going to be the difference. I think Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy will come up with something on the offense to neutralize that pass rush, if you will. I just think they'll have they have 2 weeks to plan for this team, and that's a lot of time for that combination with Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Eric Bieniemy. Nothing to take away from Sirianni and those guys. I just think that I don't know what we're going to get from Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to be the X factor here, but I like the Chiefs here, 31-27 Chiefs.
I'm gonna go next for myself. This is actually a hard one because, like you said, Patrick Mahomes is great on the field. He's a magician. He can make anything out of nothing. Don't one of the only quarterbacks they teach you what they always say: don't throw across the field, across your body, across the field. But he does it every single time and is accurate with it. But I just think this is gonna be tight. This is gonna be tough. I'm gonna go with the Eagles on this though. I just feel like they're a little too strong and primarily in the trenches. I'm still curious to see how that Chiefs defensive line is going to handle the Eagles offensive line. I think that's a lot of the reasons why the Eagles have won the game, all these games throughout over the course of the season, including the playoffs. And then in reverse, if you reverse it, how is the Chiefs offensive line going to handle this stout Eagles defensive line? But not only that, the Chiefs are a big time passing team. You got Darius Slay, CJ Gardner-Johnson is back. James Bradbury, Avonte Maddox is back. I don't know how healthy he is, but he is back. And that's not an easy secondary to go up against. But again, it is Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to go with the Eagles. I think this is going to be close. I'm going with the Eagles. I'm going to say 30-24. 30-24. Jay?
Man, I've gone back and forth all week on this, kind of like Keith.
Definitely when you go back and forth with. Yep.
I think the Chiefs, with Patrick Mahomes, I think the Chiefs have the best player in Patrick Mahomes, but I think the Eagles have the better team. Like if you look around the team as a whole, I really believe that the Eagles have a better team. And what I talked about earlier is that I like defenses that can just line up and play, and the Eagles can just line up and play with that defensive front. So I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be very competitive. but I really believe that the Eagles are going to win this thing. So I've got the Eagles like 33-27.
Man, Jay, I hope you're right. I so hope you're right. But if not, it's all good. All right, guys, we're going to head into break. Before we go into break, K-Walk, any final thoughts about this 49ers Eagles nonsense? Go ahead, get it off your chest. I will be
done,
silent.
Brett. I'm done.
Are you sure?
I'm done, Brett. I'm done.
All
Let it
right,
go. LIG. Let it go.
All right, good. So no more Brandy Ayuk quotes or anything. All right, bet. I respect it.
Yeah, I love it, dude. It's my favorite player. Hey, look. Oh no, I was going to put him up earlier. But I decided to go a lot.
Debo or Christian McCaffrey?
I don't have his jersey yet. I gotta wait for him to be long term.
Respect. All right, guys. Please subscribe because you see, like, you gotta subscribe to this. We're gonna be doing some crazy nonsense. We go back and forth. It's all out of love, though. We don't hate each other. So everybody watching is all out of love. Eagles, for some reason, I'm sorry, K-Walk for some reason now hates my Eagles, or maybe it's
not for now.
I don't know.
I've always. That's why I'm a 49er fan, because of the Eagles.
Okay, he always apparently hated the Eagles.
Yeah, and I should be rooting for. I should, and you know what?
Even a rival of ours.
Yeah,
I have no hate for the 49ers.
I should be rooting for the Eagles because of my late father. He's a diehard Eagle fan. I love you, Pop. I miss you, but I'm sorry, bro.
You just can't bring yourself to do it, can you, K-Walk?
Disappointment. No, I'm just kidding. You're not disappointed.
Hey, man,
I have no hate for the 49ers fan. I have no hate for the fan base, the fans, but they just must have trying to drum up something. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the years to come. But anyway, please subscribe to our channel, The Sideline Speaks. We are on YouTube. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, if I'm correct, Jay. Facebook, The Sideline Speaks. Please share, hit those like buttons. We need you to hit those like buttons and tune in every Tuesday at 7 p.m. But you guys are listening to The Sideline Speaks with myself, or watching, The Sideline Speaks with myself, Britne Jones, alongside Jason Collins. And I'm going to keep it clean. Kevin Walker. Kevin Walker, right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Media Network.
CampLyman.com is an opportunity for my big boys to come get some work. Let's put it all together. We built from the ground up. You know, our cliche is it all starts up front. Once again, start, stance, hand placement, hand separation, get-offs, counter moves, a little bit of everything. Polish up those skills before your middle school or high school season began. Just come work on your craft. Once again, CampLyman.com.
You're inside Never Had It So Good Sports Radio with Princess Cooper, Tim Moore, David the Duck Riley, Jason Collins, Shoshana Cook, Britne Jones, Travis McGee, Eric Scott, and Kevin Walker. We make it easy to talk sports.
All right, welcome back. Sideline Speaks, Britne Jones, Kevin Walker, and Jason Collins right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. All right, guys, let's kind of stay on this Super Bowl talk a little bit more.
Jay, wait a minute. Let's acknowledge Pierre in our comments. Fly Eagles.
That's spam. That's spam. That's spam.
Yeah, I see that, Pierre. Hey, Pierre, I think you're going to be happy on Sunday evening for sure. I feel like for some reason it's just the Eagles' time, but we'll see. Let's stay on this Super Bowl talk, guys. Britt, you're going to have to kind of get into your football player mode here because some of these questions you're going to have to get into the player mode here. But K-Walk, I'll start with you on this one. Would you rather, as a player, get to a Super Bowl and lose or never get there at all? What would you rather as a player, K-Walk?
Jay, you already know how this. We kind of posed this question some years back. Let me ask you this, Jay. If I go to the Super Bowl, am I know that I'm going to lose? Can I ask that question?
You don't know that you're going to lose.
All right, then I'm definitely going. I want to go. I want to go to the Super Bowl. I want to be there, and lose to not be there. So it's better to love and lost to never have loved at all.
Okay. All right. I like it. Britt, what about you? Get there and have the heartbreak of losing a Super Bowl, or just to never get there at all?
Well, we don't know that we're not going to lose. I'm with K-Walk. I want to go to the Super Bowl. Heck yeah. Love to compete for the top trophy in the world. And hope somehow that changes. But yeah, I'd rather go.
Okay. All right. Let's kind of stay on this. K-Walk, you're in the Super Bowl. Would you rather play terrible but win? So you've dropped 7 or 8 balls, got 3 or 4 penalties. It was just the worst game of your career, but your team wins. Or have the game of your life. You catch 15 balls, 250 yards, 3 or 4 touchdoes, but your team loses.
Before you answer, can I ask a question on top of that?
Yep.
Is this a contract year or not a contract year?
I don't. That could come in. That could
makes a little bit of
come
a difference,
into it, right? That does make a difference. But I don't know. K-Walk, what say you, man? Play terrible and win, or ball out but lose?
Great question, Britt, by the way, but I'm not thinking about that. I play terrible as long as I want that trophy, Jay. You know how I play. You know how I was when we played, Jay. I don't care about the accolades, man. I want the big chip. I want the chip. So yeah, I'll play terrible as long as we win. You guys pick me up, I'm good.
Okay. Britt, what about you?
I'd rather play terrible and hold that Lombardi trophy at the end.
All day, every day.
Trying not to kiss it because everybody else done kissed it and put germs on it.
Ew. I'll kiss it. I'll kiss it, but let me be the first one to do it, though.
Exactly, right? But I want to hold that thing in my hand, and yeah, I want that trophy.
Man, I thought that was going to be a hard question. I guess not. I thought
tried to throw the contract year in there.
Yeah, if it was a contract year, maybe it's a little bit different.
I might change a little something.
All right, what about this one, K-Walk? You're on the team, but you never play. You're like on the practice squad and your team wins, or you're a starter, but your team loses. Super Bowl. Because you know how it is, K-Walk. If a guy is on the team, but they don't ever play, it's like, was I really a part of it?
Yeah,
but
you're not really a part of it.
Would you rather be on the practice squad? You got the ring, but you didn't really play. Or you were a starter, a contributor, you balled out, but your team lost the Super Bowl.
But I'm getting the ring, though, right? If I don't play, I'm getting the ring.
Getting the ring.
Yeah, I want the ring, Jay. It's all about the ring for me, man.
Okay.
It really is. Because if I'm on that team and I lose, they can point something out that I didn't wrong or I didn't do and say this is the reason why they lost. But but I'm a team guy, Jay. You know that. You know me. I'm a team guy, so I'll take that. I'm want the ring, man. I don't care what it takes. I want that ring.
It's hard, man. I know that year I was hurt at Penn State and was just watching, like, we could have won the national championship and it would not have felt the same because you're just not out there.
Hey, Jay, but you could have used that, though. You couldn't have said, like, I didn't play because I wasn't good enough. Yeah. I didn't play because I was hurt. I would have milked the heck out of that thing.
Is this an easy one for you as well?
Bragging rights. I want that ring. It's all about the bragging rights. You didn't play. It don't matter. I got that Super Bowl ring.
That's right.
I contribute in practice. I contributed in practice.
Yeah, you help.
There you go.
It don't mean a thing if you ain't got that ring, man.
And the further away you get from it, you know what I mean? Like 5 years away, 10 years away, 15, Jay. Like 15 years down the road, you were in the game. You made a few plays. That story will just keep changing as the further away from the game you get. All right.
LaShawn McCoy, he already saying, I was the best running back on that Chiefs team.
Yep. His story's already changing. Yeah, guys get a lot better the further away they were from retirement.
That's my guy, though. But.
All right, not a Super Bowl question, but we saw Peyton and Eli in the Pro Bowl this weekend. Whose career would you rather have, Peyton Manning or Eli Manning? Look, I know you're thinking, this is easy, Peyton, right? He's the best regular season quarterback ever. He's got the 1 Super Bowl, but Eli's got two, and Eli beat Tom Brady twice. Yeah. Okay, is this an easy one, or what do you think, Peyton or Eli?
It's so funny you presented this question, Jay, because this is actually one of the questions I'm going to have on our show tomorrow night on Sports Talk with K Walk and E Scott. But I'm taking Peyton, man. I just think that if we talk on football, man, just everything that Peyton did. I know what Eli did. He beat Peyton. I mean, he beat Tom Brady twice. He has 2 Super Bowls. A lot of people saying that second Super Bowl that Peyton won wasn't really Peyton's doing, is more so defense.
That's right.
Yeah. So a lot of people are saying that. But if you look at all of his accolades, man, I mean, he has what the NFL the NFL record for most touchdowns in a single season, 55, most passing yards in a single season with 5,000 plus. I would take Peyton Manning, man. I know he played for 2 different teams. I know Eli, but I just, you don't look at Eli and say he's an elite quarterback. Right now, you're looking at Peyton Manning and you say, oh, well, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Can you say that about Eli? No. You can say he's a Hall of Famer. I think he's a Hall of Famer, but I don't think I think it's up for discussion. Will he be a first ballot Hall of Famer? But I'm going to say Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I forgot that Peyton had got that second Super Bowl, because you're right. I mean, so much of it, he was kind of washed at that point, if we're just being honest. Yeah. But Britt, does beating Tom Brady twice, does that hold enough weight to go to Eli, or are you going with Peyton here?
I can't stand Eli Manning. I did not think he was a great quarterback then. He's a 500 quarterback. Like,
looks like all that the look on his face.
Losses. Yeah, I can't stand him. He got that one catch because he held it against his helmet, and nobody's team not to want to try to punch it out of there. But I gotta go with Peyton. I thought he was the better quarterback, the better leader, the older brother. No, not to say that. I just think when it comes to football, just his knowledge of the game, I just think Peyton is just better, in my opinion. Call it biasness if you want, because I didn't like Eli Manning when he played. But I'm going with the Idaho guy. Like, come on.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I would take Peyton here as well.
Omaha. It's Omaha.
All right, let's do
Omaha. My bad. Idaho was a joke and something else. So yeah, Omaha.
Let's do 2 Penn State running backs. When it's all said and done, so not right now, but when it's all said and done, who would have had a better career, Saquon Barkley or Miles Sanders? It's closer than you think right now. Saquon's got 4,249 yards. Miles has 3,708. Saquon's got 29 touchdowns. Miles has 20. Saquon has played a few more games than Miles has. But when it's all said and done, who's going to be the better back, K-Walk?
Well, okay.
You want to go first, Brett? You can go first.
Go ahead, Brett.
No, I was going to say, Saquon has like a whole year on Miles, right?
He's been hurt so much that the games have kind of got close. I think Saquon has played 60 and Miles has played like 57. So it's pretty close in games played.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you want me to go first or you want to go first?
Go ahead. Continue.
I think statistically, Saquon is better. I think he's going to be better. I mean, look at him. He's a brute force. He's strong. He's finesse. He could block. I love Miles Sanders. That's my guy. I'm going to go with Miles. I think Miles will have a better career. I think Miles will always be on a better team. Saquon has always been, outside of injury prone, I think he's going to always be on teams, and it might change. I don't know, but I feel like he's going to be on teams where he's the number one option. And I think your running back as the number one option or the only option, let me correct that, because being on team was the only option, might be a problem, especially if he stays with the Giants. I know they have a good coach and things may change. I just don't know how much they're going to change. So I think Miles Sanders will have the better career as far as winning and maybe getting to, he already got to a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think Saquon's probably more talented, like if you just look at him as a physical specimen. But I agree. Yes. I think Sanders is going to have maybe the better career. Number one, I've said it many, many times. I don't believe Saquon will be healthy. He's always going to battle injuries. And Sanders is playing on a better team right now with a better offensive line. So I just think he's going to gain some ground on Saquon over the next 3 or 4 years. So I think it's going to be really close when it's all said and done. But if Sanders has a Super Bowl or 2 under his belt, that might be enough to give him the edge. So I'm going to go with Miles Sanders. K-Walk, what say you?
Yeah, I'll make it unanimous here, man. I just think because of everything you guys already mentioned, but just to piggyback on that a lot, I think what's going to happen with Saquon Barkley is a lot of the load is going to be put on his shoulders or his legs, if you will, and I think that ultimately will wear him down because the life of a NFL running back is what shelf life of an NFL running back is what 28, and he's I think he's still in his rookie contract. I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure where he's at there, but nonetheless, he's getting closer to the end than he is to the beginning. And I get, like you guys mentioned, Miles Sanders is on a team that he doesn't have to carry the load because he has so many different weapons around him with Jalen Hurts and Brown and Smith and Goddard and for sure and Gainwell as well who can relieve him. So I'll say Miles Sanders will have a better career at the end of it.
All right, good stuff there, guys. Let's yeah.
Jay, before we moved on, I want to our practice squad question that you had. Mr. Muggs. I like that. Mr. Muggs. Just don't come mugging me. If you're on a practice squad, you help those guys prepare to win. So you contribute, take that ring, you earned it. So like me and K-Walk,
there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Like guys who are on the practice squad or guys who practice every week but don't actually get to play. There's no doubt that they contribute to the team. They have a huge impact. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I just know as a player, it just feels a little bit different when you're not out there. But yeah, wear the ring with pride. I agree. I definitely would agree with that. Let's go to San Francisco, man. Okay, Walk, I want to talk about Brock Purdy. The news came out. Looks like he's going to need that Tommy John surgery. Look at Britt. We lost Britt. We're talking San Francisco.
I'm out.
They're saying
Put that back on. Britt.
They're saying a year for Purdy before he's going to be back in action. What does San Fran do, man? Do they just roll with the young guy who, they were planning on going with this year? Do they bring in a veteran? How do you see this thing playing out at the QB spot for San Fran?
Yeah, both. I think you gotta go with Trey Lance, bring him, wait for him to come back, and he's your guy going in. Depending on what veteran you bring in, because you got to bring in a solid veteran for sure. Not a Josh Johnson, not a I don't even know who's else out there. Not a Nick Mullins like they had years ago. Not a no name guy. Just because he's been in the league for X amount of years doesn't mean he's good. We've seen that with Josh Johnson. So I think you go out there and you get a guy. I think you get a legitimate backup, someone who can really push Trey Lance. Don't know who that guy is right now. Just thinking about it, I don't know who it is, but it's got to be someone solid, someone reliable. Because I think that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are going to approach this a lot differently than they did, because any given play, they could be done for the season, done for a majority of the season, and in this case, probably for the whole season. In this case, so yeah, I think you go with Trey Lance. He's the guy that you traded up for. You got all those guys. You traded those picks for. He's your guy. He's coming back. He's motivated. He's seen what Brock Purdy could do, so that's going to help him in a lot of different ways. I think Kyle will use him in a different way as well. Not put him in a situation where he's going to get hurt. Try to keep him in the pocket as much as he possibly can. So yeah, definitely Trey Lance is that guy, and I'm just curious to see what they're going to do in the offseason. John Lynch, he works magic. We've seen that. He's got Brock Purdy. He brought in Christian McCaffrey. So we're going to see what they're going to do. But I definitely think they're going to bring in a veteran for sure.
Yeah. I mean, with the kind of year they had at the quarterback position, losing 2, 3, 4 guys throughout the course of the season, you would think that they're going to have at least 2 guys on that roster that they view as starters. Yeah. But Britt, what say you? Do you think Trey Lance will be the guy when things kick off next year for San Fran?
If Brock Purdy can't go, yeah, I think so. I think. Look, they brought him in for a reason. I know he struggled in the beginning of last year, but give him his opportunity. This is his opportunity to prove himself. If he can't do it now, then I don't think that starting position is his. It's going to go right back to Brock Purdy when he gets healthy. But I agree with K-Walk. You have to bring in a veteran as a backup. I think Trey Lance will start as long as he's healthy, and you bring in that veteran, a good quality veteran. I agree. Yeah. Don't bring in no Josh Johnson. I forgot he was even in the league. Because he looked like, oh my gosh, he looked like you ever see the movie The Little Giants?
Oh yeah, that I like that movie. That's
remember
Necessary Roughness. You ever see Necessary Roughness when he's running around and he's telling the ref, blow the whistle, blow the whistle. He wasn't even tackled yet.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes. Yeah, that's what Josh Johnson reminded me of. So it's just like maybe he need to think about retirement if you're going to be. His hand was shaking. Why is your hand shaking? But no, I agree with K-Walk all the way. Oh, and Jay, we got a message for you. Yo, Jason, it's me, Brian. I don't know how to say it last.
Okay, Brian Collier. Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Brian? Thank you for viewing, man. Definitely appreciate it. It's been a long time, man. Yeah, Brian is one of our East Riverton, grew up. Friends with some of my older brothers. Welcomed me to his home when I was in Orlando back in my college days. Went to Disney World. Brian let me stay at his place. Yeah, Brian's a good brother, man. We appreciate you listening, Brian. Absolutely.
From the E.
Yeah, from the E. Brit don't know nothing about the E, K1. We have to talk to Brit about the E one day.
I barely know about the E. I barely know about the E.
From the Eagles? No, I'm playing. Little 49. Look, K-Buck like, really? No.
I think Brian, I can't remember, Brian, and you can comment if you're there listening, but are you an Eagles or a Cowboys fan, Brian? I know you're one of them, but I just can't remember which one. Who do you root for, Eagles or Cowboys? All right, guys.
If you're Cowboys, don't answer that, or that Mr. Muggs is gonna be my name. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's shift gears real quick because I do want to talk a little bit about KD. We talked about Kyrie earlier. We talked about the Nets. We talked about kind of the situation that's going to leave them in. But if you're KD, do you request the trade? Do you demand a trade? I think the best the Nets can do with the roster they have right now is maybe win a first round playoff game, depending on how the seeding works out. Maybe get out of a series in the first round. I don't see them doing any more than that. So if you're KD, let me tell you the thing that scares me about KD. When you look at KD, obviously, I think he's like a generational talent, right? You could argue he's a top 5 talent in terms of basketball skill. But he's getting older and his career is not going to play out that way. So are we just going to remember KD as a really, really talented player that won a couple championships at Golden State and that was it, So I feel like if KD, not to save his legacy, I mean, everybody knows he's great, but I think you want to win a couple more. I feel like he's got to make a move. Britt, if you're KD, do you demand a trade or do you just suck it up and stay in Brooklyn?
CK Walk, prior to you talking about my Eagles like that, I may have said the Heat. But since
speaking of your Eagles, Britt, Brian just said he's Eagles all day.
Let's go.
He's Eagles all day. All
right. You can keep Brian. You can keep your name, Mr. Muggs. I wasn't going to mug you from that name. By the way. I appreciate you. We got to get you on this show, Brian. We got to get you on this show. I like that.
We do.
But no, to answer your question. Oh, wait a minute. Before we go, let's highlight what he said so people who are watching us know what he said. Eagles all freaking day. Let's go. I can respect the Vikings. Not this year, but I can respect the Vikings. There we go. But you see that, Jay? No Cowboys. Get rid of that team. All right. Back to what we were saying. KD. I lost, I'm losing it. Get too hype. But no, this is not an easy decision because you went there for Kyrie. But technically the Nets didn't really want Kyrie in the beginning, from my understanding. They wanted KD, but KD said, I don't come if Kyrie does not come. Now you're basically playing with Ben Simmons and whoever else, right? I don't know, Jay. I don't know. This one is tough. I didn't really give myself time to think about it prior, but I think if I'm KD, I'm not going to demand a trade. Not yet. I'm going to give this team an opportunity. All right, Kyrie, I know he's unhappy. He's definitely unhappy right now, but Kyrie wanted to trade. I think this is KD's chance and opportunity to show that he can be a leader. to get with that front office to bring somebody in the off season. I don't know if they're going to be able to do enough this year. I think they're maybe first round. I don't see them getting past the second round. Not with this team. I don't think they have enough. Maybe if Ben Simmons get his life together, then maybe they would, but I don't see that happening anytime soon, unfortunately. But I think wait until to see what the Nets do in the offseason. If they go get somebody, because they have a lot of assets. Remember, they traded Ben Simmons or traded for Ben Simmons, and the Sixers gave them a lot for Ben Simmons. Now they got a whole lot of assets for Kyrie. So you have a lot of assets. You have good players that may not want to be with the Nets organization because maybe they're just too far on the bench. And they want that playing time, like Cam Thomas. We're going to talk about him, because we'll talk about him later. But so I'll say KD, stay with them, see what they do in the offseason, then make your decision after the moves they make in the offseason. So right now, no. I'm saying no right now.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely makes sense, Britt. There's no doubt about that. The K-Walk, the thing that worries me about that is KD, I think 34, about to be 35, or maybe is already 35. How many more prime years does KD have? Like 2, 3? I know his game is going to age well, but prime years, exactly. I don't think he has that many prime years left. And I don't think he's going to win in Brooklyn. There's only so many pieces out there in the NBA that I feel like if I bring this guy to my team, now we have a legitimate chance to win. How many of those guys are really going to be in play? I don't know. I think I would demand to be traded if I was KD. I'd say, get me out of here.
Jay, here's the thing. The problem is, what are you going to get for KD? You see, he was trying to get out last year, and they were demanding way too much. The other team that he wants to go to is going to have to basically give up their entire team. So whatever team he goes to, he may not be able to win regardless.
I mean, that you're right. I mean, that's a fair point. If people ain't going to just, they're not going to give up KD for nothing. So if he goes to Phoenix or, K-Walk's been pointing to that Miami jersey, they're going to have to give up something to get him. And does that deplete the team? I mean, that's definitely a fair point. But K-Walk, what say you? What should KD do?
Yeah, you know what? It's going to be interesting to see what Thursday, because I don't think the Nets are done trading, man. And KD may be I think they have to bring, because you mentioned earlier, Jay, they need that second scorer, they need that second tier guy on that team. I think they may go out and get him before Thursday. They got something up their sleeve. I know we didn't give too much credit to that brass that front office earlier. We kind of smashed them, but I do think they'll do something here to make KD feel at ease and say, listen, we're going to get something else. We're going to do something else here. We're going to make you feel at ease. Now, if they don't do that, if they do that, then I think KD stays. If they don't do that, then I think KD goes. But I still think with this team right now, presently constructed, I think they can still make some noise in the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference playoffs for sure, because it's a lot of parity there. But there's no team really running away with. I know the Boston Celtics. There's rumors about him going to the Celtics too. Yeah. I don't know if you guys heard that. So if he goes there. That would be crazy. Just might as well just cancel the rest of the season and just give them good championship to the Celtics. Yep. Sure, for sure. Especially if Tatum stays there, which obviously he will. But I think you have to wait and see and let it play out, like Britt said, and see what they do in the playoffs. If he does stay, if they don't trade him, if they don't make any other trades, see what you can do in the playoffs. And then after that, let's see how if they're not going to win a championship. I don't think they're a championship caliber team right now. And I think KD has to go to the front office and say, listen, I need another guy here, man. If Ben Simmons is not willing to step up, I need another guy here. And if you want me to hear long term, then I need another guy here. If you don't give me that guy, then please let me go elsewhere.
Yeah, and I feel like time is not on his side. That's the thing that would make me want to do something right away, just because I don't think time is on his side. And even when you look in the East with Giannis and Middleton, that's a nice 1-2. Yeah, you got Harden and Embiid, that's a nice 1-2. Obviously Tatum and Brown, that's a nice 1-2. Yeah. KD doesn't have, he's the one, but he needs a 2. Yeah. And I just don't know if they're going to be able to get that guy in. So If I'm KD, I need something to happen.
And he had 2 twos, and they let him go. Harden gone, and then Kyrie gone, and then now you left for your 2 is Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons. You
can't spell bench without B-E-N.
K-Walk, who would you say the 2 is in Miami? We know we got Butler. Who would you say is there 2? Oh, the big guy.
Adebayo.
So they got a nice 1-2 as well.
That might be flipped now. It might be one band.
Well, either way, 1-2. That's all. Yeah, I mean, you can flip a coin and say either one is 1-2. Yeah, but
all the good teams in the East have a 1-2. As great as KD is, just a 1 and a bunch of other guys, I don't think that's going to get it done. But we'll see. We'll keep our eye on it. Real quick, guys, before we get into our rant and our who's ball, and just your thoughts quickly on Brian Flores, new defensive coordinator, Minnesota Vikings. We know how everything went down in Miami, lawsuit. I was someone thinking, man, this guy might not ever coach again. Like it was ugly for a little while there. Obviously, Mike Tomlin brought him to Pittsburgh. Now he's back as a DC. Britt, what were your thoughts on that hiring?
Brother looking out for a brother. I love it. Don't you love it? I love it. Nobody else looks out for us. Brothers and our sisters, we need to look out for each other. But no, I love the hiring. I think it's getting Brian Flores back on track. We know he's a great defensive-minded coach, I should say. I think he will do anything he can to help that Vikings defense, because that was clearly a weak point, their weakness this season, or this past season, I should say. Yep. I think he'll do big things over there. Hopefully they'll get the players that he needs to really help this defense succeed and do much better. I mean, they can't get any worse than what they played, I don't think. But I think it's getting him on the right track to hopefully become a head coach, because he's well deserving of a head coach. And these are some of the steps that you need to take. So shout out to Mike Tomlin. I love me some Mike Tomlin, because when nobody wanted to give Brian Flores an opportunity, he was like, no, he's a good coach. I'm not going to blame him for what that organization did. And he brought him on.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree, Britt, 100%. I think he is a good coach, and I think we're going to see immediate improvements in that Vikings defense. Absolutely. And, their offense is pretty good. If they could stop some people, who knows what kind of year they actually could have had. So I think it's a great hire. I think you're going to see an immediate impact. But K-Walk, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, Mr. Muggs may like this hiring for sure. But I think it's exactly what they needed, man. They needed a defensive-minded guy, or defensive coach. Obviously, they had a defensive coordinator, but obviously it didn't work out. I mean, if you look at that wild card game against the Giants, it was just like, what? I'm not trying to put down the Giants fans, because they'll come after me with quickness, probably quicker than the Philly fans.
Here you go.
No, I'm just saying.
But that is facts. That is facts. No, you spoke honestly.
But I think they have a great offense, a really good offense, and I just think they needed to stop somebody, like you mentioned, Jay. And I think Flores is a guy that's not only a defensive-minded guy, he's a motivated defensive-minded guy now, because he's trying to get back to what you guys stated. He wants to get back to that head coach, because he believes in his heart and that he deserves that head coaching job. So he's going to go down there. He's going to go in there, and he's going to say, listen, he's going to put everything into it. He's going to get these guys motivated, and he's going to, and the Vikings may go in a deep run next year if they, with Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, those guys at Hockenson as well. So, look out for the Vikings for sure. Great hire, nonetheless.
If they would have had a defense, it would have been the Eagles, Cowboys, Niners, Vikings, Final Four.
Yeah, very possible. Yeah.
The defense just wasn't it.
Yep. I don't know what was going on there.
All right, good stuff, guys. Let's jump into our rants here. Every week we love to give a rant, whatever's on your heart, whatever's on your mind. You get 1 minute to get it off your chest. I think I'm gonna start with K-Walk, because he's just been ranting. He's been ranting all night. So I gotta start with K-Walk and just kind of let him blow off a little bit more
start
steam.
With K-Walk. Let it go.
Hey, I don't look, God. I don't have a bad rant, guys. I don't have a bad rant. Actually, I have a good rant.
Okay.
And this rant is for the NFL and what they did with the Pro Bowl. I am a huge fan of what they did with that Pro Bowl, the flag football game, the dodgeball, the lightning round, the longest drive, the precision pass, everything they did. I gave it a B+ because of the fact of the matter is I didn't like that. I think they called it the gridiron gauntlet. I didn't like that because it was too much there, and ultimately Myles Garrett, I don't know if you guys saw that, he dislocated his toe in that particular drill. So I didn't like that. Even before I heard about him dislocating his toe, I didn't like that. But overall, the guys loved it. The guys loved everything about it. There was so much on the line. There was so many different things involved. Money was on the line, guys involved. So other than the gridiron gauntlet, hats off to the NFL Pro Bowl, the NFL for their Pro Bowl weekend.
Hey, great stuff, K-Walk. I enjoyed it. Like, if you're not going to play a real football game, then that was the next best thing that you can do. So yeah, I absolutely enjoyed that. I watched a lot of it. So yeah, I'm with you there. I thought that was really good. Britt, I'm going to go next. This is a bit of a selfish rant. Super Bowl Sunday. Can we make it Super Bowl Saturday? Look, I know the tradition is to play the game on Sunday, but people got to go to work on Monday. If we play the game on Saturday, right? We could stay up late. We can watch all the post-game interviews. We can enjoy it with not having to worry about getting up the next day. Why can't we play this game on Saturday? Everybody's still going to watch. Super Bowl Saturday would be a great thing. Look, when it's on Sunday, yes, I'm going to watch. But after the game, it's getting close to my bedtime. I can't stay up and watch the interviews, the celebration, the trophy, because I got to go to sleep. If we play the game on Saturday, that would solve everything. NFL, let's make it Super Bowl Saturday.
Hey, Jay, you know what it is, right? You know what the Monday after Super Bowl is the number one sick day of the year. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know that. Look it up. It's the number one sick day.
I think I'm taking off that day as well. See? I think I'm going to take off that day. For real.
Jay don't even drink.
Yep.
We got somebody that agrees with you. Yes. Super Bowl Saturday for the win. Yes, that's my mama. Yes.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Enjoying your spa day. I hope you enjoyed your spa day going to me.
Nice.
What's wrong with you? Love you.
All right, Britt. The floor is yours. What you got for us this week?
Whew, I gotta say one thing. Whew, I escaped that one with K-Walk. I escaped that one with K-Walk. I thought he was going to attack me and my.
I had another one, but it wasn't that.
I see Mr. Muggs. He said, or at least move the time up, and I agree with that as well. Like, bump that thing up a little bit so everything could be wrapped up by 9 o'clock. You know, so yeah.
Well, I'll say this: if my team lose, I'll be right with you, Jay. In the bed, not watching any of the post-game stuff. All right. But no, I wanted a little bit of a different route with this. I had to go and take it to basketball because this guy is really irritating. Memphis Dylan Brooks. Stop it. That's why I'm going to stop it. All these antics, making all these unnecessary punching people in the groin area. You have people actually choosing you over Shannon Sharp out here. And I try to keep it neutral, but we're seeing who the real problem was.
I'm with you.
We're seeing who the real problem was. And this is not the first time. He has done it with LeBron James, well known. He has done it with a lot of other players. You are starting to become a distraction to your team. You're not helping them win. Matter of fact, against a Western Conference team, I believe they have a losing record against Western Conference teams. Focus on the game. Keep it clean. There's no need for you to go punching people in areas you shouldn't be punching people in. It's enough. Stop it. It's you're making a fool out of yourself. So yeah, I'm coming at you. You might be able to hear it. I don't care. I'm coming right at you. It's enough.
Yeah, Britt, I'm with you 100%. Memphis, man, and I tried to defend them a few weeks ago, but they're starting to feel very unlikable. They really are. And I don't know if you guys have read about any of the reports about Ja Morant. If you haven't, when the show's over, Google some of that stuff. I mean, I don't know what they're doing, you know? And so Yeah, I'm with you. They're just unlikable.
They're young and immature, and it's like it's time to grow up. You in a professional
and
league.
Jay,
This is not high school ball.
Yeah, and I told you guys how I felt about John Morant in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then he calmed down and he started to win me over a little bit. But now I'm right back where I started.
Yeah.
Right back where I started because I saw that in this guy, man. And it's they kind of feeling themselves. But go ahead.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. 100%. Talk way too much for a team that hasn't won a darn thing, you know? So that's wild. That was a good one. All right, let's do who's balling. Every week we want to shout out a player, team, a coach, anyone you want that's just been absolutely getting it done. Britne Monique, I'm gonna start with you. Who you got? Who's balling this week?
Sound like my mama. Not like that. Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, I miss you too, mama.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Well, at least you ain't sound like Whoopi Goldberg. If
you never seen Cinderella,
don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. I didn't sound like that.
Really? A little bit.
I don't know.
Slightly, no. All right, okay. Maybe. All right. So my who's balling is Brooklyn Nets guard Cam freaking Thomas. Yes. Oh my goodness. Kyrie has left the building and he has showed the heck up. In his last 2 games, he has dropped 44 and 47 in back-to-back games against one good team. The first one was against Magic. The second one was against a good, healthy Clippers team. Cam Thomas, you may get that starting spot, but you have been balling.
Yeah, absolutely. But I was watching last night. I thought maybe the Nets were going to squeak out a win, but he balled. Absolutely. That's a great call. I'm going with Caitlin Clark. I've talked about her on the show before. K-Walk, did I steal yours? Iowa women's basketball. Look, this girl, she is just phenomenal. Yes. Her last 5 games, 27, 28, 33, 42, and 23. By the way, the game she only had 23, that was a triple-double. She's just been on fire. Maybe the best women's player in the country. I mean, it's hard to argue against. I know there's some other really good ones out there, but, man, there's nobody better than she is. So Caitlin Clark, absolutely balling. K-Walk, I hope you had a backup.
I definitely did, brother. I know you guys. So yeah, I dialed in, Jay. I was dialed into to college basketball this past weekend, and obviously Caitlin did her thing. 20, like you mentioned, 23, 10, and 14. I mean that was ridiculous. I mean, and she's only a junior, man. Yeah, she's only a junior, ridiculous. So she's only can get better. So excellent stuff there. But my backup was I went with I don't know if you guys watched the Purdue Indiana game Sunday or Saturday. That was Zach Edey, the 7-foot center there, yes. Man, and he went out. That was an excellent game. It was number 21 Indiana versus number 1 Purdue. They played in Indiana. I tell you what, Mike Brown, the coach of Indiana Hoosiers, has those guys playing excellent basketball right now. I mean, and the young kid, Trace Jackson Davis, unbelievable dude, man. When he's a senior. He's going to be an NBA. You're going to see this guy. Both of them went out. Edey scored 30 points, 18 rebounds, had 3 blocks. Trace Jackson Davis had 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 blocks. So those guys, man, in that a phenomenal game, were absolutely balling.
Yeah, that was a great game. I did watch a lot of that. K-Walk, were you all right with Indiana rushing the court? They said, Indiana shouldn't rush the court. They're Indiana. It's Purdue. How'd you feel about them storming the court at the end?
I didn't like it, but I get it, though. I get it. They play well, especially against my Tar Heels, man. Speaking of my Tar Heels, are getting blown out right now by Wake Forest. But yeah, I get. I mean, I liked it, Jay. I mean, I didn't like it, but I get it. I get it too. I mean, none of those kids were around when Indiana was really great. So that's probably the biggest win at Indiana that they've ever seen. So you can't fault them for that. All right, guys, before we get out of here, Britt, tell the people where they can find you, what you're looking forward to. We know it's a huge week for you as an Eagles fan, but tell the people where they can find you and if there's anything else you're looking forward to this week besides that Super Bowl.
I'm sorry, guys. Before we get into that, can I just say this? Kyrie Irving in a press conference said he's he felt very disrespected at times with the Nets. I was reading it on the TV.
Yeah, I saw that earlier today. I actually saw him when he was saying it. He said that he felt like he was being tolerated and not appreciated. And he said maybe someday he would talk about that a little bit more. But yeah, I did see that earlier. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna I have to hear this one. I'm gonna have to hear this one because I felt he disrespected his teammates, but that's just
the world is flat.
Okay, well, we gotta put you on the show. We gotta find like a comedy TV show because you be having these like little boom. But no, yeah, yeah. I don't think nothing's gonna change with the Mavericks. All right, back on track. You guys can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Guys, I don't really use Twitter. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm primarily on TikTok and Instagram at Britne Monique. And then of course, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Sideline Speaks, and our Facebook. Follow us on Facebook, The Sideline Speaks. And of course, yes, what I will be looking forward to, the Super Bowl. I'm hoping that my team wins. It's going to be a very tough, tight, close game. At least I hope. You know, I don't want no excuses if the Eagles lose, and I don't want no excuses if the Eagles win. Okay, this will be a fair, clean game. But no, that and then basketball. I know tomorrow. I think is it tomorrow? The Sixers play the Celtics, so that's going to be a big game. Hopefully, they don't mess up and lose that one because they've been playing around lately. But that's primary right now. What I'm looking forward to. Everything else is secondary.
All right, good stuff, Britt. Yeah, and you can find me at Jason Talks Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Like Britt, I don't use Twitter that much, but primarily TikTok and Instagram. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl, obviously, but also, you know, basketball starting to ramp up for me. I think Kyrie's going to make his debut tomorrow night with Dallas, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how that's going to go. Okay, Walk, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, you can find me on Instagram, Kevin.Walker142. Twitter, I am on Twitter at KevinWalker142, and Facebook, Kevin Walker, for sure. You can catch me tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Sports Talk with K Walk and E. Scott on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. It's live on Apple. It's live on Spotify, iHeartRadio as well. Check us out. Very entertaining show there. You know, obviously, I like to think I'm a funny guy, but yeah, definitely. And also have a show on the same network on Friday this week. I'm talking with a young lady who dealt with childhood trauma. She's a single mother, so check that out as well. So I just don't talk just sports, for sure. But yeah, I am looking forward to basketball this weekend. The Super Bowl, obviously. Please, I'm just asking. I'm saying
that he'll do that until he'll do that until did the Chiefs?
I'm not gonna do that all. That's the last. I can't stand it, bro. To be honest with you, but it's the lesser of two evils.
Wait, did the Chiefs? It's the lesser of two evils. A couple years ago.
Yeah. So it's a lesser of two evils. That's what I said. They're just lesser of two evils at this point.
Hey.
So, but nonetheless, everyone enjoy the game. Nonetheless, for sure. Have your favorite meal, your favorite beverage. Be responsible, for sure. I'm definitely down into basketball for sure. So everyone have a great rest of your week.
Hey, well, you know you'll be low key rooting for me. Come on now, you'll be low key rooting for me.
Brett, you believe that?
I do.
Really believe that?
I do. I do.
You're hoping it, but you don't believe that.
No, you'll definitely be rooting for me now. You're not gonna root for me?
I'll root for the smile, Britt.
There you go.
Guys, he'll be low key rooting for me. And Jay, he'll be low key rooting for the Eagles deep down somewhere.
Yeah, you know, Britt, I won't be mad if the Eagles win. I really don't have
your kid team.
I won't be mad. My mom will be happy. She's a diehard Eagles fan. We
gotta bring mama on the show.
Some of my sisters love the Eagles, so it's a win-win for me either way. So it's all good. All right, good stuff, guys. That was fun. If you're listening, please hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends. Again, you can
Please.
also catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. So share that as well. We're definitely trying to grow this show. We appreciate you guys listening, and we'll be back here live next Tuesday with a Super Bowl winner. So we'll see you then. Thank you for listening to The Sideline Speaks.
Hit that like button. Go Eagles!
You're inside Never Had It So Good Sports Radio with Princess Cooper, Tim Moore, David the Duck Riley, Jason Collins, Shoshana Cook, Britne Jones, Travis McGee, Eric Scott, and Kevin Walker. We make it easy to talk sports.